Good morning. Today I want us to look at food spoilage. Food spoilage. Now, food spoilage is the development of undesirable characteristics of food or features in the food which are not desirable at all in terms of taste, texture, smell, and so on. Now, we have different forms of food spoilage. We have the microbial spoilage, or biological spoilage. Now, the microbial spoilage of food is basically contributed by the living organisms, that is the microorganisms. So basically, we can say that microbial spoilage is a spoilage due to the entry of the microbes into the food. Now, when microorganisms enter into the food, they produce toxins. Now, these toxins are associated with food poisoning, or what you can also call intoxication. Now, we have various forms of food poisoning. For example, we have staphylococcal poisoning. This mostly caused by the Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. Also, we have the Clostridium poisoning. Which mostly caused by, we can call it Clostridium poisoning, or we cannot call it botulism. This is caused by Clostridium botulinum. This is a bacterium responsible for spoilage, which is associated with poisoning. Now, we have different bacteria and viruses which are associated with microbial or biological food spoilage. So, this group of organisms, when they enter into the food, their interference brings about undesirable features in terms of taste, texture, smell, and also the flavor of the food. Then, apart from microbial spoilage, we also have another form of spoilage in the food, what we can call the chemical spoilage. Now, chemical spoilage is caused by the entry of chemicals or the use of chemicals in disregard to the required law or regulations. Now, these chemicals, when they enter into the human body, when they consume the food chemicals, they can cause illnesses or they can cause infections. And we have different infections that can be caused by chemical in the food, in the body of the consumer. The other form of food spoilage that we can mention is the enzymatic spoilage, enzymatic spoilage. Now, we know that when the microorganisms enter into the food, they can release some enzymes into the food. And also, we know that some foods normally also have enzymes within them which contribute to the iteration of the food. For example, we have a reaction normally called rancidity, commonly in the fats or fatty foods. Now, rancidity is where the fatty acids are oxidized to form rancids. Rancids contribute to the putrefied smell you'll find in, or you'll see in a spoiled fatty food. Okay? Now, also, the last category of spoilage that you can mention is physical spoilage. Now, physical spoilage basically involve the entry of the physical matter into the food. This one can be dust, and the dust normally carry a lot of bacteria. When dust enters into the food, the bacteria may cause the spoilage. But the route of entry or the cause of spoilage is, we call it physical because it is the dust which has contributed to the spoilage of the food. Also, it can be the air, the human air. When the air drops into the food, it can cause the spoilage of the food. It may add undesirable feature into the food. Also, it can be through contamination of hand, that is the cross contamination. Using one knife, for example, in cutting both the meat, the bread, the vegetables, the fruits, and so on, transferring germs into the food. So those are the main forms of spoilage that you can talk about, which we shall discuss in our next class. Thank you.